Hello everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 and see how this particular phone holds up in the later part of 2024. Now, the big thing I can definitely tell you is that within this particular device, a very important thing you're going to have to remember is that within this type of phone, it's really just, a phone that was very good when it first came out, but it probably isn't worth buying anymore. And there's a few reasons for this. Now, if you do want to pick up some phones that I would personally recommend buying this year, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there for the cheapest prices I find, and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, with the outside of this phone, this is one of those areas where this phone holds up really well. And remember, this is the standard model Samsung Galaxy Note 20. So with the Note 20 on the front side, you're basically getting a very big 6.7-inch Super AMOLED Plus display. And it is a very good looking panel. Right, when this phone first came out many years ago back in 2020, I thought it was a good looking device. However, in this day and age, this panel does kind of miss out on a few things. Number one, this phone's panel just isn't as great as some of the latest generation. It doesn't get as bright, but also it's a standard 60 Hz refresh rate, so it doesn't really give you anything crazy when it comes down to that. So it's standard, it's not anything super insane that we haven't already seen before. So that can be kind of a disadvantage for some people, so just kind of keep that in mind. But I don't think it's like the biggest deal in the world, and I still think this is a pretty good, decent panel. USB Type-C on the bottom, you're getting the stylus as well inside of this phone, which in and of itself is a really cool thing. Having a stylus in S Pen is such an awesome thing, and I'm so happy that we have that type of capability on this type of device because it genuinely is such an awesome thing to basically have. On the back side, you're getting a frosted plastic back, which was always an interesting touch for them to kind of throw in here. Not really too sure why they still ended up doing this. I mean, they did this with the S20 FE as well. I just think it was a really weird thing for them to do, but I guess they had to do what they had to do. It kind of makes sense. But it's still, that's probably one of the things on this phone. The 60 Hz display and the frosted the frosted plastic back are the things that haven't aged this phone that well. Compared to phones like the Galaxy S20, they came out even earlier that year that had a standard glass back. So I'm not really too sure what was going on there. This phone still gives you wireless charging, reverse wireless charging. The cameras on this thing too are still pretty good. Triple camera setup on the back. You can film 8K video on the back and 4K at 60 on the front, which is actually 8K on the back. That's still higher resolution than what you can get on something like an iPhone, the 16 Pro, which is pretty insane. But this is still a very decent camera when it comes down to it. Definitely not perfect, but it's still good enough, and if you are in the market for a camera, it's not the worst idea ever to get something like this. However, on the flip side, one thing to keep in mind here is that this device's software is severely outdated. And I've said this before and I'll say it forever, getting a device like this that's already having this kind of software experience, it just really isn't that good of an idea, right? I genuinely think in almost every single way you can imagine, getting a device that's going to be giving you a little bit of a better experience when it does come down to that performance level, when it comes down to the software level, it doesn't make any sense to go and purchase this device, in my personal opinion, just because it is already so outdated. I've said this before, it just makes so much more sense to go and buy a device that's still going to be up there in the software perspective. And I think devices like a Samsung Galaxy S22 is that's still supported. That makes a lot more sense to go and buy. Those types of devices make a lot more sense. This one, on the other hand, just doesn't really do it for me. So that is a big thing. The performance of this phone isn't terrible either. Snapdragon 865 chipset with 8 GB of RAM, definitely not terrible. But like I said, you're definitely going to be getting a way better performing device on something that is still supported with software with a better chipset rather than this thing. So ultimately, what I'll probably tell you is that it makes a lot more sense to go and buy a device that is probably going to be giving you a little bit of a better experience. And with this type of device, it just really isn't going to be doing that for you. So I do think that is kind of an issue, and I think it makes a lot more sense to go and buy a device that is still supported with software. Think of phones like a Galaxy S22 or above. Even an S21 or above will be better than this thing. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.